Hi everyone, Chaz916 here. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to improve the rune section of my first draft of my Proto Fae language project. Today I'm going to improve the esoteric meanings and kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to do there. And I'm going to add the first draft to some of the runes, and I'm going to give you some insights into that. And also, as I said, this is video 6. There are 4 videos where I tinkered. Those are on my other channel, which is Chaz916 Gaming. If you're interested in checking out my doodlings and my mental processes, you can check that out. Number 4 and 5 are, of course, on this channel. And if you are interested in the lexicon, that is the Elvish words and their translations, you should check out number 5. This one is focused solely on the runes. Okay, so all of these videos are of course going to be available on YouTube, and I'm creating playlists for both. There will be a playlist for this channel's ones as well as they develop, so please, consider subscribing and or commenting. This will encourage YouTube to share my videos with more people, which will of course encourage me to do more. And thank you ahead of time. You guys have always been great in the past. I hope you will be in the future. Comments, questions, and suggestions are always welcome. You can leave them in the comment section below the videos. I'm always on here for at least 1 hour after I upload a video, just in case somebody gets in there early. Just to let you know. Okay, so the question is, what are primal runes? Now, primal runes are a set of runes that evoke the strength and power of all of the primordial forces that diffuse and are around my world. That includes the power of some of the realms that touch it, the sun, the moon, the stars, all of the most primitive, most basic, most primal powers. Okay, so why have them? Okay, back in, well, let's see, it was D&D 4th edition, I think. They introduced the idea of primal. And it fits in well with the classes for them, and it fits in well with my world, which is a high fantasy and a high magic world. I know there's not too many of those around, but that's mine. I call the planet is Eos, and you'll hear a lot about it if you hang out on this channel. Okay, so, like I said, it's invocative. That means that basically those that call upon these runes are actually drawing upon the primordial forces that created everything. Okay? So they're very necessary. It works out well for, shamans and other types of classes. But it also ties in with bloodlines in my world, because Fae, which is elves and dwarves and etc., are highly attuned to those because that's where their ancestors and their bloodlines evolved. Also, not just the Fae though, druids are, in my world, are humans who also evolved in those areas. So, it plays a big role in my world. So it was important to have these, and I wanted them to be incorporated from the very beginning. And that's why it's in the Proto Fae, because it is from the very beginning. Okay, so, but just so you know, it's not just the primordial forces that shape the world, it's also the primordial forces in us, the urges, the instincts, and the emotions. All of that plays a role as well. And those are included in my primal runes. At least that's one of the things we're going to work on today. Shouldn't have gave that away yet, but stay tuned for it. Okay, so next. Okay, so I introduced the Gotha in my last video, and here is what I had there, which is very basic. but it shows basically where this is kind of going. As you can see, we're talking about primordial stuff, earth and air, fire, water, nature, moon, mountains, beasts, herbs, trees. Even the hearth is considered home. So, stone, storm, shadow, all of these things are manifestations of the primordial forces that shaped my world. And that's where my runes begin. Okay, so well, let's see, I think that about covers these. So, next. Okay, guys, so as I said, I was upgrading these, and as you can see now, I have gotten things a bit more, a little better organized. A couple of things that I did here was to start putting in the primal emotions. And for those, I came up with fear, surprise, anger, envy, grief, love, rage, regret, and happiness. And these are primal urges, emotions, etc. This is the start, so bear with me. There's going to be more later. Also, because of my world having its own astrology and having 2 moons instead of just 1, I wanted to start putting some of the basics in so that astrology will have something to build on. I want it to flow naturally from the beginning as well, much like primal runes. So that's what I've done here. I've got children or gods born under, and if you understand my world's history, you know that a lot of the gods that people know about are the lesser gods, and those are actually the children of the real gods. Anyway, don't want to get into that too much, but I just wanted you to understand that I'm starting to incorporate some of the very basics that I need. Also, so that you know, human runes cover arcane forces and alchemical forces and associations. And those are going to be dealt with later when I deal with humans, because they're more attuned to that. Okay, so, I'm not going to get into the healing spell stuff because you really need to know more about the history of my world, and that's going to be coming a little later on. And if you've got some of my videos from the past, you know a little bit about that already. But going down, we have on the first column is Proto Fae, which is the language of the fundamental language of the proto races that came before the first races, if you will, of the Fae. Their societies and things have changed much since then, but this is from their beginning. And these are the forces that they dealt with. Again, I have spoken on that already. And I just want to show some of this stuff to you. As you can see, I've incorporated happiness here. And children born under no moons, that's when both moons are dark. And then children born under 2 full moons, etc. So this is also going to help me with putting in and developing and showing the development of astrology on my world and the various constellations and cool stuff like that. But I wanted the foundations to be there from the beginning, and that's why I put it into my proto language stuff. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything here that I really need to show? Just a lot of improvements over the last one, and just me showing you guys how I'm starting to incorporate things, including divinity, because the lesser gods are actually of the world, because they were created on Eos in my world. The greater gods were not. They came into being at the time when the world did. And I'm doing it again. I'm getting into things that I didn't want to get into here. So let me try to stay on track here. Okay, so Let me give you a second or two to kind of absorb this, and then we are going to move to the next one. Okay? So, moving on. Okay, guys, the last thing that I have ready for you guys that I wanted you guys to see was that I am actually working on the runes themselves, what they look like. I have a couple pages of the 4 or 5 that I've done so far. I'm basically working on creating the designs for the runes. If you guys remember back to the first ones I did, they were really crude, but they kind of gave you some ideas. And I may pop those in at the end just in case you want to see those and you missed them. But let's go over the new ones. These are some of them. I don't have them associated with any particular thing yet. And you should understand that the shapes don't necessarily denote the primordial powers. So just because you see a waving line does not mean that that's necessarily going to end up being wind. I have no clue what the first races were thinking or how this came to them. Well, I know how it came to them, but I don't know, you know, what they were thinking when they drew them. Anyway, this is going to show you what some of the runes are going to physically look like, and this is just some first drafts. This is page 1 of the 2 that I want to show you. I did 4 pages or 5 pages, a lot of which are getting thrown out. These 2 pages kind of condense that into 2 that I'm going to consider for the final set. So far I have 21 runes, but there'll probably be more. Maybe as many as 40. I don't know yet. So, these are some of them. My inspiration for these, some of them are Chinese inspired, which I think is one of these and one of these are kind of Chinese inspired. Some of them are inspired by witch runes, and some are inspired by Elvish runes that I found online. All kinds of inspirations that I'm trying to draw from and to create something that's going to be unique and make it interesting for the players. Okay, and here's the second page. I'm really kind of liking how this one is beginning to evolve. And these 2 guys, I like those. I probably won't use both, but I'm going to use at least one. This one is simple, but I can see where it could be used. I also like these 2. I think those will probably be really cool. This is a nice idea. I'm just not sure if I can make it, if I can pull it off. And then this one I kind of like too. It's simple, but it's interesting. And then I was trying these. I had mountains obviously in mind. As you can see, you might not know, this is actually the Chinese character for mountain, this one. Also, I saw this rune someplace on one of the ones I came across. And I think it's kind of, well, I saw something similar. And I think that this could work out. I think it looks kind of nice because it kind of gives you the idea of a plateau as well as a mountain. And then this one I came across also. Again, I don't know which ones are going to end up in there and which ones aren't. I'm going to be doing these until I come up with a set that I really like, and I will update you guys on my progress. Alright, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Welcome to the new channel, and thanks again for your likes, your subscribes, your comments especially, and your subscriptions, because those really help me to push my channel, and I really need to. This is probably never going to pay, but I really would, to me it's worth it if I'm getting the stuff out to everyone who can really benefit from it. So please help me to spread it. if I make a few bucks in there, I promise I will use it to, you know, as I just said on my Patreon, every penny I get is going to go into software and other things that I can use, and maybe later down the line, artwork and other things that I can use to improve the things that I am bringing to you. Okay, comments, questions, suggestions, please leave them in the video, below the video in the comment section. Thank you guys, I'm out for now. Bye-bye.